Jeffery Combs, good to be here with you. Turquoise, or whatever this color is a unique color. Good to be here with you. Jeffery Combs, Tuesday afternoon, Facebook Live. One of my favorite topics, big-time players show up in big-time games. Good to be here with you on a rainy Tuesday afternoon, April 1st, also referred to as April Fool's Day. And if you know the origin of that lore, then congratulations. My name is Jeffery Combs. I am the president and founder of Golden Mastermind Seminars Incorporated. Now, last Tuesday, I was experiencing some technical difficulties on the Facebook Live, and I do believe that I do have that resolved. And I have big-time player number one, Alexis Toledo, shows up, who is a Division I softball player. So, Alexis, you do understand what this means right here. Big-time players show up in big-time games. It's called a clutch player, or a player who performs admirably in a championship game. When you're in business, every day is a championship game. Every day is a big-time game, because every day you're in production. Every day it is your business. Every day you are in that flow. So for those of you who are coming on from Josh's team, I see 5 of you. Congratulations. 6 of you. That is awesome. Josh Waxman, thank you very much for bringing your team to today's call. There's David Hammer. So the entire team, deep appreciation and gratitude for the support from Yuritsa and Josh Waxman. Josh and I will be hosting, we will be letting you know, we will be doing a Zoom training on a Saturday together. We will be joint venturing on a few Zooms throughout the calendar year 2025. So if you're just joining me today, Joshua, good to see you. Honored to be your coach. Thomas, honored to be your coach. Jared, honored to be your coach. And David, honored to be your coach for 3 years, or for 2 more years. And Yuritsa, good to see you this afternoon. Here's the topic right here. Big time players show up in big time games. And when you are a big time player, it means that every day is game day. And I, as a former high school athlete, I wasn't one of those athletes that played up till I was a sophomore and quit because the coach sucked. The coach was my father. And that's a whole nother story that I have shared, and what that was like to be the son of a Hall of Fame coach. My father was Don Duck Combs. That was his nickname after Donald Duck. Don Duck Combs. 357 victories in the state of Iowa and 43 victories in the state of Missouri, a total of 400 victories. He coached against the great Roger Worley, who played 14 years in the National Football League and eventually became a Hall of Fame player after several years in the Veterans Committee. So he became a Hall of Fame NFL player. My father also coached Kevin Ritz, who played 9 years Major League Baseball for the Detroit Tigers and the Denver Rockies, and he won 17 games in 1996 before he tore his rotator cuff. My father went to the state tournament on 2 occasions in the state of Iowa, and he also won the state track meet 1 time. So my father coached baseball, basketball, and track throughout his career. I played for him for 4 years in 2 different sports, and as I said, that is a whole different story right there in itself. Now, what I've been covering for the last several years, but specifically in the last several months, is I specialize in what is called trauma-based mind control and then generational trauma. So David has now mentioned, yes, Roger Worley, David, is from King City, Missouri. And that was where I grew up, near Maryville, Missouri. Roger Worley went to University of Missouri, was an All-American defensive back. Then he played 14 years in the National Football League. He intercepted 41 passes. I have every one of his cards, 8 of his rookie cards. And he is from, we talk about a small town. He's from a town of 2,000 people, yet he's a Hall of Fame cornerback in the National Football League. So understanding, the topic today is a big-time player shows up in a big-time game. But here's what hinders many of you from being that producer in a relaxed body. It is called performance anxiety. And performance anxiety is a byproduct of 3 of 4 types of trauma. Generational trauma. So generational trauma is the trauma that's handed down from two sets of grandparents on each side of your family. So your mother and parents are here. Then there's two sets of grandparents. Then there's a grandparents above that. And it all ends up and it flows down. And then here you are in what is called generational trauma. So if you are the adult child of addicts, if you're an adult child of narcissists, if you have a brother in your family or a sister in your family who traumatizes the family, and the family continues to placate them, hold on to them, and make excuses for them, and you're the brilliant child over here while the demonic child is over here, you're gonna pay the price of that. That is called generational trauma. If you have multiple parents going like this, if your parents are marrying multiple parents and multiple kids are coming in the family, or your family's bringing in foster kids who violate the other kids, which happens frequently, or adopted kids that come into the family, or the mixed family that violates the family, that's generational trauma. And generational trauma is one of 4 traumas. Then there's physical trauma, emotional trauma, and sexual trauma. Any one combination of 1, 2, 3, 4 of these traumas will lead to acute fight or flight. Fight or flight then keeps you in an acute panic pattern. A panic pattern means your body is holding on to the pain, and then you are silently suffering, stuffing your feelings. I just coached a woman earlier today who shared with me one of her family secrets of what she had to hold on to, and then how it manifested into the men she date. That's what we do. We tend to mate, date, and attract to our reality people to fulfill the trauma that we hold on to based on past perpetrators, violators, and narcissists. And then we mate, date, and marry these people to fulfill the feelings of abandonment, rejection, overwhelmed feelings, grief, apathy, pride, and we hold on to them. And then it affects our ability to perform at a standard that we're capable of. And then we also set a standard that's so high we can't reach it, so we can be disappointed. So David is saying narcissistic sister sucked the energy out of the family's life for years and years and years. Okay, so I'm going to cover this. So I'm going to cover this for just for a few seconds. So I had a similar situation. So there was someone in my family that was like that. But if you're in a family where there's a brother or a sister who gets all the attention and you get none, and they're constantly screwing up, fucking up, doing these things that these people do, or they're constantly in trouble, then the family is chronically rescuing them. Then there's also a situation, there can be a major health challenge in your family, where one of your brothers, sisters, father, mother has a health ailment, and your entire childhood is directed at their health. And so your entire childhood is lost to these unforeseeable circumstances that are going on in your household. And so these are the wounds that we can end up carrying throughout our life, and then it affects you from being able to produce in a relaxed body. It affects you from being able to be the man or woman that you're capable of. And then there's also families that I've coached where the children are slaves. And if you grew up in a family where you're virtually trading time for nothing, I mean, you're trading time, you have these chores and these duties, and you're performing as a grown-up, as a child, you have just lost your innocence. And then this also will put you in a position where you will underachieve and under-earn. And because if you're not given compensation for these situations that you are doing, then it will keep you doing the same situation over and over to fulfill the same set of feelings that will keep you neurochemically addicted to a set of feelings. If you are ready to let go, if you're ready to separate your feelings from the events that shape them, then that's what this content is about today. It's the separation between the feelings and the events that shape them, so that you are no longer the mind-body connection to the events that shape the feelings. And as you are practicing the skill of letting go, you're going to dig deeper and deeper into letting go of the anxiety, fear, and doubt that keeps you recreating the same situation to fulfill not good enough. And when you take that long, deep breath, when you breathe, release, and let go, what you're letting go of is you're letting go of trauma bonds, you're letting go of anxiety, you're letting go of fear, you're letting go of doubt, and most importantly, you're letting go of feeling not good enough. And if you feel not good enough, that's universal. That's how most of the planet is. So if you're going to be a producer, if you're going to be highly productive in your business and your enterprise, then there's a series of habits, There's a series of skills, and you have to have a system and a routine to be able to show up. And one of the number one things you'll have to learn to do is don't compare yourself to other people, because you have no idea what they've been through. You have no idea what journey they've been on, and they may have already paid some of their dues while you're just starting to pay yours. And so that provokes envy, jealousy, and other situations that will keep you feeling less than, and it'll also bring up resentment. When you are no longer the mind-body connection to the events that shape the feelings, then you are you and you are free. And when you begin to free yourself from these ties that bind, when you begin to free yourself from the trauma bonds and the panic patterns, then you're actually creating the separation. The separation allows you to scale the map of consciousness. You're going up the map of consciousness, and you're letting go of feelings of not being good enough. And you're able, so the key to this is to be able to feel the feelings you're feeling, experience them, and then learn to let them go on command so that they don't stretch out over the day, over the week, over the month, over the year. You're able to let go. You're able to separate your feelings from the events that shape them. So instead of being angry, you're able to release your anger. Instead of feeling resentful, you're able to look at the resentment and let go of it. Instead of being scared about the future, you're able to accept the present. And the more that you're able to be present, the more that you're able to be in the now, in the know, then you're not the mind-body connection to the events that shape the feelings. So to be a producer is to have exceptional habits. And those habits are based on results. And to be able to create results, you have to start in a relaxed body where you don't have expectations that are so big that you fail before you start. You can't be a producer and be a procrastinator in the same energy. So in production, it's my business. It's my business, and I treat it like a business, not a hobby. To be a producer is you're realistic about the goals you set and then the goals that you achieve. When you're a goal achiever and a goal setter, then you'll create results. You also have to learn to produce from a non-attached state where you're not attached to the outcome. I've encountered many people who don't understand the highest paid profession in the world. It's sales. Sales requires sales skills. It requires a sales mindset. And you have to understand that the prospects aren't rejecting you. They're either not interested or you weren't effective. And a large percent of the time, the prospects aren't interested. And you have to let go of presenting to people who aren't qualified buyers. And when you're buying leads and creating leads and going through leads, you have to understand the law of averages. And no one really has an exact idea of what the number, I have an idea of what the number is, but nobody has the exact specific situation is. But for me, it's somewhere like 1 out of 10 of the people that reach out to me for a coaching call. I'll close 1 or 2 out of 10, and the other 8 will have objections of why they can't, won't, shouldn't, couldn't, or unable to, and I'm able to easily and effortlessly let that go because in a non-attached state, none of it's personal. Now, if somebody gets confrontational with you, or has buyer's remorse, or is someone in your circle of influence that's taunting you or making fun of you, that's different. But 99% of the time, the prospects that don't buy from you, they have 5 objections. The 5 objections is they're not interested, they want to think about it, they don't have the money, they want to do third-party approval, and or they want to see all the facts, figures, and documentation. So those are the 5 main objections that you will encounter. Now, depends on what type of leads you're using or that you're creating, that will determine some of your outcome. In the insurance industry and in the mortgage industry, there's leads that you're paying for $20, $30, $40, $50. Coaching leads are usually around $100, $200, $300 a lead through sales funnels. And those are purchase leads. Then in the old days of my era, there were the 10-cent leads, the 35-cent leads, the 50-cent leads, and the dollar leads. And most of them are like white page listings. So you have to understand that not everyone's a qualified buyer. You have to understand the law of averages in sales, which is the highest paid profession in the world. And in selling, it's going to require specific skills of being skilled at being able to read people, being able to hear what they mean, not say, being able to differentiate between a qualified buyer and someone who's not a buyer, being able to tell when someone's telling you what you think they want to hear. And when someone says they're going to get back to you, you're able to understand what that actually means so that you are not holding on and feeling rejected or abandoned. And it's the same in dating. You have to be able to, dating is the same situation. If you're out dating looking for a mate or a soulmate, it's the same as looking for a teammate. You're looking for a qualified person who fits what you're looking for. You should have an absolute idea of the ideal candidate because that's who you're looking for. If you're looking for someone to build a business, well, qualify that person. If you're looking for someone to be a customer product or a customer user, what are the qualifications of that? If you're looking for an employee, a vendor, a contractor, what are their qualifications? That's your responsibility to fact find, small talk, and ask questions about the outcome so you can understand, is this a qualified buyer? And if it's not a qualified buyer, then you don't want to waste your time with that situation. And you're able to let people go diplomatically, easily, and effortlessly. So as a producer, you have to understand the law of numbers. Unfortunately, what happens in selling is most people don't have the patience and they don't have the discipline to create the conversations required to attract or find the qualified buyers. And also, it's not just a numbers game. It's the law of averages in the numbers that you become skilled at. And as you become more and more skilled in understanding the law of averages, you'll be able to easily and effortlessly let people go without feeling rejected, abandoned, or resentful. So those are the three emotions that typically affect people in selling: rejection, abandonment, and resentment. And it's very easy for people to say, oh, I thought that person was going to buy from me, but they ghosted me. Well, what they did is they typically told you what you wanted to hear, you didn't understand it, and then they never got back to you. You will find that most of the people that you encounter in a selling atmosphere that tell you they're going to get back to you seldom do. And you're going to find that most of the people who future tense the purchase seldom do. You'll find the people who purchase on command because they're ready to buy. And you can also enhance some of that by your skill set by understanding the inner game of selling. I've been studying selling since I was a teenager. I have multiple sales books. I've created my own audio series for years. Psychology of Closing, Psychology of Prospecting, Psychology of Asking are my three signature products that I produce specifically with understanding the inner game of selling. Today's topic is big time players show up in big time games. And for you to be that player, it's important that you master the skill of letting go, the separation between the feelings and the events that shape them. You operate in a non-attached state of production. Non-attachment allows you to be not attached to the outcome while focusing on living on the solution and creating the results on command. If you're watching my content today and you'd like to access a free 20-minute coaching session, feel free to reach out to me. I would be honored to offer that session to you or to be your coach. If you're a former client and would like to talk to me about coaching in 2025, also reach out to me. I have a unique marketing proposition.